Welcome back. Now, we're just about ready to wrap up this section, and we've accomplished quite a lot in our little BadBot project, which is kind of basic, but we've learned a lot of concepts along the way. It's time to tie them all together into one level for our BadBot game. Now, I'm in my testing level, but I can go back to my bot level where the actual bot exists. I have it right here. And I'm just going to put my bot at the origin of this level. So I'm going to go to my location and hit the curved arrow and stick it right there at the origin. I'm also going to delete the floor, and I'm going to delete the ceiling. In fact, I really don't even care about the sky either. I just want a sphere that we can play inside of. And modeling mode is perfect for creating a sphere. So I'm going to go to modeling mode and go to create and select sphere and click in the viewport to get that sphere. But I want my sphere's pivot point to be in its center. So here in modeling mode, I can specify that. I can go to my pivot location. It's set to base. That's why my gizmo is at the base of that sphere that I created, but I want it to be at center. So I'm going to choose centered, and there it is. It's in the middle. And my radius is going to be quite large. I'm going to bring it all the way up, perhaps to 1,000. I think that is going to be a nice sized level. And I'm going to create this, but I want it to be in a specific folder. I don't want it to go into the maps generated folder. I'm going to go to assets and make a new folder here. And I'm going to call this level sphere. I want to make a level sphere. And I'm going to have that folder open. And I'm going to set the new asset location to current folder and click on accept. And now we have a new sphere, and it's in my current folder. It's called sphere, but I'm going to rename it to SM level sphere, like so. And SM level sphere can get its own material. I'm going to go ahead and make a new material by right-clicking, selecting material, and making an M_level sphere. And I'll go ahead and just give the most basic material. I'm going to hold 3 and get a 3-dimensional vector that allows me to get a color, and I can choose whatever color I like. Perhaps a bluish, maybe a darker blue, something like that. And that will go into base color. And I think that's all I need. I'm going to go ahead and apply that, save my material, and go back to my SM level sphere, open it up. Now, I can't see it because I'm inside of it, actually. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. But first, I'm going to assign my new material to it, M level sphere. Now, I've assigned it, but again, we can't see it unless we really zoom out. But I don't want to see the outside of it. I want to see the inside of it. So if I go back to M level sphere, and click on the material result node, I can make this material two-sided by checking the checkbox for two-sided and clicking apply, then going back to SM level sphere, and I can see that now I'm inside of it, and it looks like the sky is just this blue color, right? Pretty cool. And you don't have to just leave this as basic as it is. You can make it metallic if you want to by holding 1 and getting a scalar and hooking up a value for metallic. You can make it 100% metallic by putting a 1 there. You could have hard-coded that in if you wanted to. You can hard-code values for the others, 0 roughness, for example. And you can have this sort of mirror finish. 0.1 is a little bit less mirrory. So, it's up to you. But now we have a two-sided material applied to our level sphere. We have one here in the world. And if we zoom on into the inside and press play, we can start playing the game. We can find our player start and determine where we'd like it. I'm going to bring it way back, not outside the sphere, just almost to the edge. And I can press play so that I can start the game and see that drone. All right, so I'm not really too fond of having a roughness so low, so I'm going to put that to 0.9. Specular can be 0.1. There we go. I'm going to apply that change. And this looks a little bit better. So now I'm going to leave it up to you to kind of customize this and make it look better, make it look appropriate for a game of this small scope. Perhaps you may want this to be darker. You can change the color. You can add some point lights. Remember, we can go up to the drop down up here and we can bring in shapes and other types of objects. Maybe you want to bring in lights, such as point lights. So just pause the video and take it as a mini challenge to customize your level. Okay, so I think my material could be a little darker. I'm going to bring it down quite a bit. And I think what I'd like is a few point lights next to the surface of my sphere. So I'm going to bring in a point light up here towards the top. Going to lights, bring in point light. We'll bring one in here. I'm going to make sure it's inside, right there. That way it's close to the edge. And I'm going to have about 4 at the top. So I'm going to bring another one in. So I'm going to duplicate this one and bring it over to this side. I'm going to duplicate another one and bring it to this side, and duplicate another and bring it right there, and just kind of tweak their locations a bit. There we go. And then I can select all 4 and I can duplicate them and bring them down like so. And I'm just going to tweak their locations a bit. And I might duplicate just a couple more. All right, I'm going to make my level just a bit darker, almost black, I think. And that's looking pretty nice. Okay, excellent. So we now have our level. And if you made yours a little darker and you noticed that your drone was a little too bright, well, there's an object in the world called a skylight. And this light affects all rooms of the level, even if it's enclosed. And I'd actually just like to change the light color a bit. I'd like it to be a little bit blue. So I'm going to bring it down to the blue, like so. And I'm pretty happy with that. Let's play. Okay, so that looks great. Now we do need our sphere spawner, right? So I'm going to go to Blueprints and go to my small sphere folder and bring in a sphere spawner and set its location. I'm going to go to the details panel and hit the curved arrow for location. That's going to put it right there at the middle with that drone. And let's see how this looks. All right, and we can try to get those spheres without getting shot. And I got shot. Excellent. That's looking great. Now, if you wanted a little bit more of a challenge, you can actually make the drone move forward. You know it's interpolating towards the pawn, right? So if we right-click on the drone and browse to it and go to BP bot, that's the class name, we can go out to the event graph and find event tick. And in event tick, we can move the drone forward in its own forward vector direction. We can say add actor world offset, right? We know how to do that. And we can use the forward vector. We can use get actor forward vector. And we can scale the forward vector by a speed. So we're going to multiply, and I'm going to convert this into a float. And I'm going to promote this to a variable called speed. We're going to compile and give speed a default value, let's say 100, but we need frame rate independence, so we want delta seconds. And I'm going to show you a nice shortcut to get delta seconds. We don't have to drag this pin all the way over to here and have crisscrossing wires. Instead, I can right click and search for get world delta seconds. And that gets me the same thing. So I need to multiply delta time by speed. We'll use a multiply node for that. And we'll take that and scale our speed vector like so. And then we can hook this up to add actor world offset, and we can be good programmers and highlight these nodes, right click, collapse the function, and we can call this move bot forward. And now we have a nice compact function. We can even comment it and say move in forward direction at speed. And we can set that to a blue comment like so, show bubble when zoomed, and we have moving forward behavior. And we can test that out, see if our drone is moving, and our drone is facing us. Now, one last problem. You may have noticed that you can come outside the sphere and actually not be able to get back inside of it. That's a problem. So we need to change the collision settings for the sphere, don't we? So let's go back to SM level sphere. Let's go to collision, and we're going to add a sphere simplified collision. So we have collision data on the sphere. So now that we have that, then we shouldn't be able to go through it, which we can't. Excellent. All right, so we have a nice looking game here. And if you want to see this and play it in full screen, we can do that. We can go ahead and hit F11 to full screen. Looks like I got hit by a beam, so I'm going to have to play again. And here in full screen mode, you can hit Alt-P to play. And we're playing the game. Excellent. And I died. All right. Excellent job. We've finished our first game project. And yes, it's kind of simple, but again, there are a lot of concepts that we've learned along the way, a lot of fundamentals that are going to be very important as we move on to create other types of games. So I want you to pat yourself on the back. I'm very proud of you for making it this far, and there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. So excellent job. I'm going to close all my tabs here, and I'm going to save all. And we are finished with this section. Congratulations. I'll see you in the next one where we talk about inheritance. I'll see you soon.